Hey everybody, and welcome to this week's Geeky Grind, where I am painting some terrain! Yep. Remember I had that big update of the post-wedding pile of shame? Well, I started doing some tackling on it, and I've got the crates, the barrels, and the armor containers from the Imperium Mazagines all painted up, and I'm going to show you how I did this. First step is I started with a zenathal highlighted crate. That was basically by spray painting it black, going over it with some white from the top. Now, I did make sure to keep the guns separated, so that way I could paint them separately. So, once I took my zenathal prime armor crate, and crates, and barrels, I got out the paints. My choice for color for the crates was to actually use the Screamer Pink, which is a beautiful, lovely purple. And I've really fallen in love with this color. So basically I did my first coat, then of course, you always want to do two coats, because that first coat really came on kind of splotchy. Going back over with that second coat made it much more smooth and uniform. And once I got that done, it was time to move on to painting the silvers. And that's getting in all these little vent details right here. And just put those all on. The other silver parts were the keypads. I had to make sure I got those. Then it was on to the golds. And that was just basically taking some retributor armor and just painting on each of the skulls on the armor containers. And at that point, I was done with the armor containers. So I moved over and did the crates and the barrels. Now, I chose to do the crates, I chose to do the armor containers in Screamer Pink and black. And I really like how this turned out. It very much fits my Death Watch army, so I can very much see these being Death Watch shipping containers being dropped down. I matched those with crates by doing up some black crates, and just two coats of black. Then you slap some retributor armor over the Aquila. Crates are done. I also did some blue crates to match my blue shipping containers. I did some Screamer Pink to match my Screamer Pinks, and I also did up some Administorum Gray, which came out as this really cool, I'll show you that here, came out as this really cool, almost green color compared to the other stuff. So it's very much a green-gray, military khaki kind of color by how it came out, so I'm really happy with how that worked. Different lightings, different lighting, it will be gray or green depending on what kind of lights you're under. The barrels, do the same thing. Put two coats of your color on, then go over the gold Aquila and the gold on the Aquila, the gold on the skull, and some retributor armor on for your silvers, for the little nozzle on the bottom of the barrels. Once that was all dried, I went over and I did a little Agros Earthshade on all of my golds to give them a nice patina and get into that recess shading, so those higher parts really pop with the gold, and it takes down that shine, because these are worn, used crates. Lastly, I went over and I did the guns. So basically coated the guns in lead belcher and was able to get a good even coat on those. Using the zenathal highlight actually let me have some really good black darker shading, so I didn't even have to hit these with a wash. And once the lead belcher was done, I went back over, and I'm doing this thing where I'm going through all of my armies and basically putting red gun cases on, because it really does look cool on a Space Marine to have that lead belcher gun and then the red casings. So I did that, and then I did that, and then I was all set, and now I'm ready So yeah, I got a little kill team game set up here so I can play a game against myself. I know it's a round board. Don't really have a board with me at the house. Well, I do have that old swamp board I used for D&D one time. I could change that over and make it be a board for having up here at the Nerd Bunker. So maybe that will be maybe that will be next week's video. But yeah, thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next time. Peace.